experience is the slowest way of learning, but wisdom is the quickest way of learning. Wisdom cannot be bought like tapes, CDs, books, etc. I like this one. Smart leaders from the success of others. They look at others. They look at others as their role models. They want to copy and emulate what they have done. At the end, they become leaders themselves. They become initiators themselves. They develop. And finally, there is a cat. Being gorgeous gets me a long way. I might be very gorgeous or whatever definition you can give, but attitude gets me there quicker. It is our attitude that determines our future. It is how we perceive a situation. I like the example nga presenter ola wa mchudeni. Achikora wasa devubara. Then the attitude it irritisa or rishikelele una rakotoda ya hone ngotabanya. So, but my take here is that let's learn from the success of others. Let's have role models. We are going to get ourselves in a way that we become successful. It happens to me, nendo vandisa zvidivi zori una vatu vanokonsedza. As I'm now becoming part of Bono family, we are going to share stories, and those people who had followed this will also share stories with members of Bono community. I only learned when this student, I was attending church with him, then he went to do training for SAPS, and he went to Gauteng. After 6 years, when we met, you know, he said he attended my honors degree celebration at home. I said something like this during that celebration. And he was showing me a master's certificate in police services. Now he's now finishing a PhD. Now, he said, he used to phone me, but not telling me that he want to copy. He used to phone me, what are you doing, Mr. Raveran? Then I said, I've registered for PhD. Then he said, yo, I'm running after you. In a way, he was following on my footsteps. At the end, his bosses also called me to say, who are you? This boy is always talking about you. And he wants to request a release to go to the library. And he has registered for a PhD. I'm talking about a policeman. A policeman who is not looking for a position, but a policeman who's looking for knowledge. He's at a lower rank, but he's developing himself so that he understands the circumstances that he's working under. I would like to come to the conclusion of my presentation. It's just unfortunate that today is a very hectic on my family life. We've just lost a family member. And I'm going to attend, we are preparing for a memorial service around 12:30. So I would have loved to be with you, but to the organizers and the leaders of Bono, just know that you are with Dr. Raverani in your midst for future endeavors. I will also assist in whatever possible way that I can. We had this vision also when we were still young. We started this around Thohoyandou, 1996, 97. We had what we call Career Information Center at the then VDC. Unfortunately, because we were pursuing our careers, we did not go further with the organization. The vision, the tactics are almost the same. That is where I developed passion to become a mentor and also assisting people with regard to developing their careers, job preparation, and job placement, etc. So I would like to thank the program director, the organizers, to give me this opportunity to share with you this presentation. And by that, bravo. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, Dr. Raverani, Renebatu Bono Foundation, Rekopa Rota Karangamanda, Bokono Onara invitation Yashu. Rekodi was funza zone about leadership skills and emotional intelligence. This is ne Rekadios Jaras Shumisa. And as there Zenda Konos Bananduzori, whenever honorable invitation Yashunguruta, not the slides, and as never combazone, Stone combas, never to Mabaz research about Diva. So, and we welcome you into the Bono Foundation family.
Ngazituku richikuwa na smile za watu wane hufatho chedziwa nga Dr. Raverani za zwino watu nanji sidozori wewe nika live streaming ndinyasa zdivi wewe nika live streaming ne nga Phanda studio so ndoro nyana na smile nyana simbeza zori nika live streaming nyana ngozibona so rusongabeta chifingay radar ko daka guest speaker number 2 ane ava DR Masuta Mukove. Then before musiba studanga ngono Phanda radora dovara ombera tsundeni adababu ya futi adaita kula kushumo kwa ari jeb nga 1 minute.
Zwazuna wongo Phanda era so ndideta mushumo unendo dela wone worendi introduce ubo dokotela afa mwene ravanai and kolibwa futhi na dokotela Raverani afa noni zwe varivudza zwone so zwazwino ndi khodo introduce guest speaker ya vuvili ane ava vo dokotela Mukove Morris Masutha ane ova a SRC chairperson Vets University oita BA Vets University BSc honors ka food security na ka economic geography Vets University aita masters of science University of Johannesburg aita PhD rikwamba dzene dzila dza magaweni heyo oita University of Bath UK uneva United Kingdom ari muvandele zwanḓa musi a tshi khou ḓo dzhia tshifhinga.
Macheloni ofi audience eno niyo daranga manda ma volunteer a Bono Foundation. Now watu vena vafi ma volunteer baba bo daranga chitu chono fi drive so vachiamba ni akono zwipfa vori ndi vhathu vhane vha khou ita zwithu zwine a vho ngo tou sukumedziwa. So na u lumelisa a thi khou nyanga uri ndi pfhe ungari na zwino ndi khou tou vha luvheledza. Ndi matsheloni. Okay. Nṋe ndi pfhi Mukovhe, ndi bva Mapate. Tsini na Lwamondo na Tshisaulu ngori vhunzhi ha vhathu a vha u ḓivhi. Mara zwa zwino vha songo vhona zwienda zwanga zwi tshi nga zwi na matope, ndo dzi tou tshintsha goloini nga afho nnḓa. Ndi bva haningei Mapate hune a hu na tshigonṱiri. Mara ndi khou pfha ndo takala nga maanḓa. Ndo takala nga maanḓa ngauri vha ḓo zwi pfha zwa uri ndo takalela mini ri tshi ya phanḓa, mara ndo takala nga maanḓa. Nṋe ndo ḓowela nga maanḓa mafeisi a muhumbulo. Ndi dzula ndi khou lwa hu si nga zwanḓavho nga muhumbulo, ngauri ndi vhona uri thaidzo dzashu dzi nnzhi dzine ra vha ri khou ṱangana nadzo sa vhaswa vha vharema. Ndi thaidzo dzine muṅwe muthu o dzula fhasi a humbula uri u ḓo ri ṱanganisa na khakhathi hani, u ḓo ri ima phanḓa hani, a ri andamaina hani. Havha vhathu vha tonga vho tou dzula vha zwi humbula uri vhaswa vha vharema vha tea u imiswa hani phanḓa. So kharali muthu o dzula fhasi a humbula uri ri tea u imiswa hani phanḓa, na riṋe ri tea u dzula fhasi ra lwa, ra humbula nga nḓila ine i ḓo ri konisa u lwa na u imiwa phanḓa hune ra khou ṱangana naho sa vhaswa vha vharema. Ndi khou nyanga u thoma nga ḽeḽo ngori ndo ri ndi khou amba na muṅwe wa vhahulwane vha Bono Foundation ndi tshi swika nga matsheloni. Nda ri ndi ṅwaha wa vhuṱanu, a ri nda ri okay. Zwino zwikolo zwine ra khou shuma nazwo ndi zwingana? A ri no, zwo no swika na 8. Nda ri okay. At the back of my mind ndi na results dza Eastern Cape. Results dza Eastern Cape dze dza announcewa zwino hu tshi pfi dzi khou swika kha vho 80 something percent. Fhedzi nṋe ndi graduate we a graduate vets ane certificate tshawe tsha matric a tshi mutendeli u ya vets ṋamusi. Ndi ḓo zwi dovholosa hezwo. Ndi muthu we a graduate vets ane certificate tshawe tsha matric ṋamusi a tshi mutendeli u dzhena nga ngomu vets. Ngauri hezwi ri khou khwinifhadza, hu na vhaṅwe vhane vha dzula fhasi vha humbula uri vha ri imisani phanḓa sa vhaswa vha vharema. Ngauri results dze dza vha dzi khou ṱoḓea nga 2007 ndi tshi thoma ṅwaha wa u thoma vets, ho pfhi uri ri zwi ḓivhe uri ni nga kona u phasa heyi degree ri khou humbela results dza so. Ra dzhena ra pfhuka. Zwa zwino hu pfhi hedziḽa results a dzi tsha tou vhesa dza ndeme na u swika a dzi tsha swikelela uri ri zwi ḓivhe uri, by the way, admission requirements have only one point. They serve one purpose: to estimate the probability or the chances of you going through the system successfully. So if that's the basis of the admission requirements, why do they evolve? No vhona vhathu vhane vha khou tamba na ṅwana tshipfi rwani hafha, a tshi ri u khou fhufha nyana pfi no rwani hafha noni, a tshi ri wa fhufha nyana pfi rwani hafha noni. Ndi yone game ine ya khou tambiwa na vhumatshelo ha vharema hafha South Africa. Ndi khou zama uri ndi tou ḽi amba zwavhuḓi nga Tshivenḓa, ri pfhesesane uri hezwi zwo no pfhi Bono Foundation ndo amana chairperson ndichiswika apa uri ndikuyangopfesesa uri rikuita mini rikuita charity rikuita non-profit organization rikuita NGO. Are we giving back? All those multiple descriptions do not cut it for me. Giving back, charity, development, NPO, NGO, they don't satisfy the gravitas of the problem we're facing as black youth. So, Saizugofio Darama Volunteer Bono Foundation, that is the future of the very foundation, the foot soldiers of the very foundation. I really want to have a serious conversation about where to in the next 5 years. Because in our country, a lot of what is measured is what I call input-based key performance indicators. A lot of what is measured, in other words, success is measured through input-based key performance indicators. We measure the process. We measure what goes into the process and not necessarily the outcome. In fact, the outcome is not good for me. The consequences and the extent to which our actions reverse this black agenda that has been set for many years, Urima Phanda, that is what I measure. I don't measure what we do, how much of what we do, how we do it, and what we produce. That's still part of the process, input. I measure the extent to which our actions reverse a man-made problem which was made for us as black youth. What is input-based key performance indicators? Ndori kamurwane wa Bono Foundation, education has nothing to do with education. Education has nothing to do with education. We don't get educated to be educated. The consistent outcome of being educated is not to be educated. Ndamufa tsumbo. Ndangobona ndorali ndi mukobe wa mapate. Mubuso wa Jachale Denga Department ya Economic Development province ya Limpopo. Badela degree ya vetse ya wita wo 500,000. Then da wana NSFAS ya badela honors comes 100,000. Then da ita masters. All this money is, when you count it, is you get 1 million. If you're okay, Elia Shangolombo the body 1 million ola muna eskoloni. Zino. What is the outcome? No, often say come on. When I become a legislator, that will become a crime that is punishable by jail time. You are stealing public money. Anyone who spends R1 million to stand in front of you and say, I am educated, that's tantamount to a crime. It's theft. Why would I be saying that? Because I said, let's take our agenda slightly broader than we ordinarily do. If the agenda is to reverse that which people sat down and plotted, that the life of black people must amount to absolutely nothing other than hewers of wood and drawers of water. You see, I need to Bono Foundation. Utusayan is an input. That's part of the process. The agenda must be broader, must be bigger. It must be politically clear, very clear politically. Because black poverty is a political output. So, transforming or redressing the legacy of black poverty must be a politically guided and very deliberate action. It can't be charity, no spare time, no ri na tshifhinga ha ri khou ḓi zama ha ri ḓo vhona uri zwo ya gai. No, the source of the problem was that Verwoerd, a PhD in psychology, and his brothers and sisters. Okay, maybe let me rewind. Verwoerd is too early. Rather, too late. In this program of action of theirs. Kona umati wangapa. Ati diuzori ndi nyene akodiwa conference yokovekana ha Africa nga Europe yeti alini. Anyway, veoti ni ati Google ana maduba. You need to Google the conference which resulted in European countries dividing Africa into bits and pieces of colonies they would preside over, not to stay here because the weather is nice, but with the vision to develop what is now known as the industrial world or industrialized world at the expense and the detriment of the livelihood of Africans. So, ndiyabuya futhi ka objective yazwina rakweta zone. If the objective is to be educated, we are wasting money. If the objective is to have credentials, that too, we are wasting money. If the objective is to reverse the socio-economic legacy of a man-made problem, then the past 5 years must give a resounding applause for Bono Foundation. But the next 5 years, much bigger, my brother, a much bigger problem you have. I'll tell you why. When I arrived in Johannesburg in 2007, through a scholarship from the Limpopo provincial government, the scholarship said, when you are done, the objective, or rather the obligation is that you must work for the provincial government for the same number of years that we will fund you for at the university. Wonderful. Easy peasy, there's no problem there. In any case, I'll be looking for a job. So yes, agreed. By the time I was done with my studies, I called the Limpopo provincial government to say, I'm done now, but I intend to continue studying. They said, no problem, we don't even have a job for you anyway, so you can continue. So I said, wonderful. By the time I was done with my master's, I was beginning to feel like a criminal on the run. So then I read something on the newspapers that actually posts were frozen, this kind of thing. So there wasn't, you didn't necessarily, or rather, let's put it this way. Along the way, I realized I did not necessarily have to work for the provincial government for me to work for Limpopo. In other words, I could do exactly what we did with what I'm about to describe now, which is a foundation we established when I was president of VETS. And the impact that we would have had with my colleagues on Limpopo is far greater than the internship I would have received and maybe pocketed the money for myself. So I walked into something we called at VETS University, the 11th floor. As an SRC president, I was expected to negotiate that the fees must stay where they are because they were getting too expensive for both the country and the students. So I asked the reason for why the fees were going up. This is a problem you're going to be dealing with in the foreseeable future as the hiking of fees undermines public budget and therefore they want to add top up. But before you get there, I'm sitting here a man called Patrick Fitzgerald as a Deputy Vice Chancellor Finance is sitting here, Council is sitting here, Vice Chancellor Lois Ononga and them. And they say, we have to increase the fees because government subsidy has gone down. So there are two sources of money, either you as the student or the government. So if government subsidy goes down, you must pay more as the student. He says, that's so? They say, yes. So, okay. Jambo ribone bakambori, kare ranga bapa noni raya 1, 2, 3 skuman. Rafaranzi mandenga mkudo, rarekoto da eyo subsidy. Bone ba do freezer, the cost of vet, ya imane po isa, une bakengo isa all. Patrick Fitzgerald Duri, zido bakori actually they spend a kaminari. Not because government has cut subsidy, but because you believe this thing must be sold, bought and sold. Patrick Fitzgerald was not a problem for us. We could downsize him with the student leadership to an extent that vets fees did increase, but not by the percentage they were proposing. At the time, because we were social science students, we didn't understand what the spreadsheet, you know, when you go to the university council meeting, they will say, we are going to increase the mutendelo. Why? But visa presentation yoradio, avona line iko yangei, ingwe iko yangeni, hapa une zatangana hone. That's where the real story is. But you see, this is where we must increase the fees by 8%. Now, obviously, we don't know how those two lines are crossing. So we go back to the students, they say, and then? We can't explain this business here. And the easiest way to get Patrick to come back and talk to us is if we are protesting. But that was at least 2011. So we established something called Thohoyandou Foundation, pretty much an equivalent of Bono Foundation, focusing in Vembe District, Eastern Cape, Jokavi, some townships in Gauteng, and then KwaZulu-Natal, Herigwala District, and some parts of the Free State. Mainly driven by volunteers or beneficiaries of the very same foundation. I don't wish to waste too much time on that. I want to get back to Patrick. So we did that, and as a result, we have about 400 graduates ever since then, and at the moment, I think 1,400 students at university. So most of them coming from Limpopo. That's how I'm paying back the bursary Limpopo gave me, not by working at the provincial government. So anyway, that's what I did as my way of service, and it's what I'm continuing to do now. Let's get back to Patrick, because that's what you are going to be dealing with moving forward. At about 2015, at the beginning of the year, I received a scholarship to do my PhD in a university called Bath in England. And so I had to leave. But the important thing was not so much the PhD, it was that it was a PhD in higher education management. So in my mind, I felt it will give me the ability to understand Patrick when he crosses this thing in front of me. Instead of me going back to the students, say, let's just strike because we don't understand what Patrick is saying. So I started that doctoral journey, and by research largely. And my research, which I will share with the leadership of Bono Foundation when I'm done, was focusing on why are NSFAS funded students dropping out in large numbers. Between the year 2000 and 2010, 656,000 students were bombarded with NSFAS. Vachita review in 2010, 65% of our church drop out. That sounds a bit, it's something that we must be talking about every single day, given the magnitude of lives that are getting wasted as a result of the dropout rate. Of course, Zichambu TV, Kanaka newspaper, hey, no, just the weight of money, this thing. Hey, why do they bring them? Hey, the quality of basic education is low. There is no such thing. There is no quality of basic education that is any lower. There is not vice chancellor, a single vice chancellor in this country who can ever stand in front of me with facts and tell me that the quality of our basic education is lower. Lower than what? Are universities supposed to be tested on how best they educate the top elites, or are they supposed to be measured by how well they enable those who are the bottom, or from the bottom of the ladder, to become the best? Why must university be measured by how well they teach people with distinction? Then how are you going to say you are the best in teaching? Because you are teaching the best. That is utter nonsensical. You are not teaching anybody. You can't argue that you ought to be measured. And in any case, ndikuyangonipa tsumbo ya Eastern Cape. If you pass rate in the 80%, mara bachelors in the 35%, it's fine. Gianni la 35% ya Eastern Cape as bachelor. Niri ndiba pia wait or maths literacy, right? Then ndiba visi apalani. Then who started wait or maths? Niri ndiba pia cover wait or maths. Whenever pass English nga 60%. Niba visi apalani. Nibo nori Eastern Cape yo tesa province. Ndiba ngana wana botendela uda vete uneafi. Aunanda vor degree na kuita yonendi ifio. Nitio dana 60% ya English. 60% ya English. So, ndikoni patsumbo ya province on its own, how it's being undermined by man-made problems. And when you push these people, when you push these elites too hard, it is not themselves who defend themselves. It is black puppets. There's a man who says, each time I fight for black people, or each time I fight for a black person, I have to use one hand, because I will need the other one to fight the black people who are fighting me for fighting for them. So if you go and challenge a vice chancellor today who is masquerading as the paragon of knowledge or the top thinker in the country, it is not his mediocrity that you have to deal with. It is those who have been made to believe that he's making sense. There's a vice chancellor at Wits who makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. But he's shouting on TV every day, and the name vice chancellor, the name Wits, confuses us to equate sense to what he's saying. Because he's from Wits and he's a vice chancellor. So, how you are going to measure the usefulness of your education is the extent to which you can challenge what people find uncomfortable to challenge. If you are educated and conform to the everyday life, you are not educated, I'm sorry. If all you can do is to agree to what is in front of you, education or universities, when they were established in the past, were meant for critical thinkers who will reinvent the present to shape the future as we expect it. Not for myths. You are volunteers, not the students. Maybe let me speak to the students now. The ones who are going to university in the next few weeks. Walk in there like this. Eh? Ungari ndiya hanu. Why? Ngori ndiya hanu. Hela university uvaka semende kachibigiri katanga. Yopatiwa. Ngachelede za umakuru wewe bashuma maini. Bathola na pension. Okay, by the way, that's a factual statement. I'm not making that up. The infrastructure in this country is funded on the back of pensions, UIF money, and the rest of monies that are left by people who are languishing in the mines underground, who die and we don't even know their surname. That's how the infrastructure in this country, the PIC invests that money in white businesses who masquerade as investors. But you'll get to that level in your final year economics. For now, my argument is that Veonichisuka University, don't fail because you feel you don't belong here. Claim the space because it's paid for by your grandfather's pension. That one is a fact. Wits University was a mining town. In fact, Wits started as a mining college. That's why it's very big in mining engineering. So, as we approach what is not essentially a conclusion of my presentation, but my challenge to you as we take on the 2020 academic year leadership is that, are we going to challenge the way we've been measuring success? Yes. How are we going to do so? Instead of measuring how many students, instead of measuring our success by how many students we manage to enroll at university, instead of measuring our success by how many of them passed, instead of measuring our success by how many of them graduated, instead of measuring our success by how many of them got a job, instead of measuring our success by how much they actually earn, we must measure our success by the extent to which they can undermine Verwoerd's legacy. If they can't undermine Verwoerd's legacy and instead assimilate into continued exploitation of black people, then we are wasting our time and we are stealing public funds. Because I remember the white paper of 1997 by Professor Bengu clearly stated that the purpose of education in South Africa after apartheid is to chart a new order. A new order means we are charting a new order to determine who South Africa. That's what a new order means. Not to tinker on the edges of what we think is transformation, but to take the bull by its horn and stab it to death or burn it alive for that matter. Because black poverty in South Africa is so extreme. What you see on TV is really a sanitized version. And you can't be looking up to senior leadership in their 60s, 50s, or 70s and expect them to take on this beast. The best they can do is to provide an enabling environment and not stifle us when we're taking on this beast. That's the best, I could say the least we will ask from them. So that's my 2 cents, my brother.
On behalf of Bono Foundation, out of your busy schedule just to come and speak to us. So and if there's one thing that we can learn from you, we should challenge the status quo. Thank you so much.
Peace makes me whole, and I love your breath. I love your presence. I love you.
Speaker, we will have what wamba haone bakona and ngandiba yawo. And uamba.
My name is Liwa Maginya, and I'm the founder and CEO of Phanda Studios. Phanda Studios was established in 2015 as a photography company. We have now expanded and we do video production and graphic design as well. We mainly focus on video production where we shoot weddings, corporate events, birthday parties, documentaries, commercials, and many more. If you want to know more about Phanda Studios, please visit our website www.phandastudios.com.
So, remember ni share, they are live streaming, you know, all over. ni a kona u dzhena kha Facebook na i share kana na khou vhona ini muṋe wazwo i hone i khou trenda shereleni muṅwe na muṅwe na kha status ngo ralo ngo ralo. So ri ṱwa ri khou fhirela phanḓa ri khou ḓa kha tshipiḓa tshi no khou tevhela ri nyanga thoma ri tou thoma ri tou ṱanzwa nyana maṱo hafhanoni sezwi ri amba uri Bono na vhathu vhanzhi ine i khou vha bika nga maanḓa ende i tshi bika havha vhathu vha vhibva. So ndo vha na vhathu vha na khou ḓo sumbedza uri vho vhibva vhe vhaṋe ndo tou dzhadzha. So rather ri khou humbela Phanda boys i tshi khou ḓa ngeno phanḓa i tshi khou ḓo ita zwittu zwayo and then DJ a vha a khou vha fha ṱutshedza nga muzika. Rumba tshi khou dovholola hu fhiri khou ni gonye stage because vhathu vha ri murahu vha khou kona u vhona and then uri vhathu vhoṱhe vha vhone zwithu zwi nake vha ḓa vha khou gonya stage. So DJ a ḓa vha khou dovha futhi vha tshi khou fhedzisa.
njengasabi pha ayibo funa izinjengasabi ukhokha funa izinjengasabi pha ayibo ongaphetshile 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 ngagibela ihashi ongaphetshile 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 ngagibela ihashi shampombombo 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 ay shampombombo 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 ay shampombombo shampombombo ay bo Aibo. Aibo. Yes. Yes. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Wow, we are final boys. Yeah, we are. I do we next time. So, rather ka Phanda singapeta na chipinga ritaro kota kusa wo principala vanthechereseni Mr. Mamburu vachikotanga ngano Phanda ritaro kona ruimbo ngange nga DJ.
Covenant keeping God. Your name is Jehovah. Your name is Elohim. At the mention of
ma siari oreni and zone ndi principal wa chikolo cha Ntechereseni atongo to ambela chikolo cha Ntechereseni ndiko to amba ndi chikosimesa uri ndi ipiyo impact ine Bono Foundation yakoita skoloni richizdiva zvari bunji yaveiwe apa machudeni manji vari ka Bono Foundation ninga vanojena ka zvikoro zviraru zvine vembe zvidiviwa zvisikoro zvavudi zvinobvisa mvere dzavudi. Then Bono Foundation yotheya tusana na rine from 2017 ndiwo nimwa we ndajoina chikoro cha Ntechereseni satoya chikoro vatu vachidiva chikoro cha Ntechereseni havo chiambo zvinhu zvinji ngamanda Ntechereseni vatu vamwe vachiamba nazvori na mbyara riyathuliwai chiabva ndawana uri usvika nenditoda peto raro ndichisvika angeni ningava nozvibona namachudeni vaNtechereseni hevadzurawo ndinofanira vasedza namambarire avaambari uniform yaNtechereseni yeine avachodhoyambara avaambarisa vamwe vapano vembe vaambara uniform yantesa ine yawanira south wange unebewe na jena one tsini nabo vetse nabo UPN nge. Then musiri chisvika ngeni hoba na mashudu mabuya uri vatu wa Bono Foundation vamotida Ntechereseni vachida vawana nne ende vakuwana nne ndikutodori huve na change nga tshifhinga hetsho tshikolo tsha Nthetsheleseni tsho wana 47%. Zwi amba uri tsho underperforma. And hava vhathu vha tshi swika, nṋe ndo vha ndo no ya miṱanganoni ine kha muṱangano hone a thi swiki nda amba uri last year 2016 ndo vha ndi siho. Ndi tshi swika ri ḓo vha ri khou vhudzwa uri a huna zwino itwa, a ni khou shuma tshithu. Ndo nda pfesesa uri ya zwi amba uri hezwi a zwi khou itani. Ndi tshi swika ngei tshikoloni ndi tshi vhudza vhana nga 2017 uri ni ri ni dzhena Nthetsheleseni ya 2017. Nda ri hei iṅwe ya miṅwaha ya murahu yoṱhe hayi nṋe vheiwe ni khou dzhena hei ine nṋe nda vha hone, ndi songo mbudza nga zwithu zwine ndi siho. Havha vhathu vha ḓa ṅwaha wonoyo vha lingedza u phusha, ndi ṅwaha u tshi fhela ra wana 52%. Ndi musi ṅwaha ndo tou thoma. Havha matshudeni vha tshi ḓa tshikoloni, program i on, nda tea u imisa program, nda ri vhewe ni amba na matshudeni. Hari ṅwaha u tshi khou tevhela hoyu muṅwaha wovhili, nda thoma u zwi vhona uri havha vhathu vha khou shuma ngauri vho ri musi tshikolo tsho vala nga 2018 vha ḓa vha funza. Vha tshi khou funza nda zwi vhona uri mathina havha na ndavha na vhaṅwe vha matshudeni, ngauri naho vheiwe na ṱuwa na ya kha zwikolo zwi no nga Thengwe Mbilwi Tshivhasa, hezwo zwikolo zwi a ḓivhea uri dzi results ḓo dzula dzi right, zwi a ḓivhea hezwo. Havha vhathu vha tshi swika ngeini vha ḓa vha funza, ṅwaha wa fhela, u tshi fhela ḽa ṅwaha ro wana 71%. Kha vhathu zwa isoko nga a zwi konadzei, why ho no swika ka 71% ngauri yo vha 52%. Nṋe nda kona u zwi vhona uri a thi ngo zwi kona ndi ndoṱhe, ndo zwi kona ngauri ro vha ri na havha vhathu vha Bono Foundation. Ṅwaha uyo fhelaho vha ḓa sa zwine vha itisa zwone. Vha tshi ḓa vha ita mafhungo avho anea ori vha mentare vhathu. Musi tsho vala nga vho June vha ḓa vha ta zwo funza kana u tutara. Nda ndi tshi dzulela u vhudza vhathu vhaṅwe, ndi muthu ane kanzhi ndi ya breka fhethu hune nda vha hone ndi a sumbedza uri hayi arali hu tshi khou pfhi nda ndi tshi amba iḽa khoutu ya Bivhilini yo sokou vhathu vha i ḓivha mavhiḓani hu tshi pfhi ito ḽe ḽa mbona ḽi tshi ḓo dovha ḽa mbona. Zwino kanzhi nda tshi swika hafhaḽa second maprincipal vho ḓala nga maanḓa nda sokou ri ya hazwilani zwithu zwo pfhi riṋe ri a underperforma kha nṋe hayi ito ḽe ḽa mbona ngei miṱanganoni ya vheiwe a ḽi tsha ḓo dovha ḽa mbona nati feilara. Zwi amba uri ri ḓivha zwo ri ḓo bvelela. Ndi a pfesesa uri a huna muthu a tshi nga funa u ya tshikoloni tsha Nthetsheleseni na vhana vha tshi nga pfhi Nthetsheleseni a sokou pfhi zwi ḓo tou itisa hani. Ṅwaha wa mbo ḓi fhela hoyu u tshi fhela class of 2019 ndi heyi ine ya vha hafha Phanda yo rangaho phanḓa nga seneta. Heyi group ya hone ya sumbedza vha serious, vha zwi ḓivha ndi yanga u dina nyana. Nga nḓila ine matshudeni vhane vha nḓivha zwa tshi takadzela uri zwi nga si vhe zwavhuḓi arali matshudeni vho no nga vhewe Ntsundeni na ḓa tshikoloni, Malamba na ḓa tshikoloni, no vha dzi top learner dza province, na amba na vhathu vha nga vha khou zwi pfha. Zwino ndi ita uri arali zwithu zwi si khou itea ndi tou sedza matshudeni, ndo ita zwazwo ndo tonga sa mubebi kha ṅwana. Matshudeni anga vha a tshi zwi ḓivha zwori kanzhi nda ima tshiṅwe tshifhinga ndi isa na zwanḓa murahu uri vha zwi vhone zwori ndi tou sedza fhedzi nga maṱo vha ḓo zwi vhona uri hayi havhaḽa muthu u tonga vha khou zwi takalela. Ṅwaha hoyu wa tshimbila, ṅwaha u tshi fhela unoyi ra wana 89.2%. Zwino hezwo zwi a sumbedza uri na ngoho vhathu vha Bono Foundation vha khou shuma. Ndi tshi khou tenda uri riṋe ndi pfesesa uri ri belonga kha class yeneiḽa dzi above 90. Titendi uri ndi tovha muthu wa fhasi ngo tou ralo, no titendi khazwo. Zwino ri khou tenda uri vhe wa Bono Foundation ḓani na this year nda ndi khou amba zwone zwilapha ndi ri a thi tu zwi funa ṅwaha u tshi thoma u tshi nga tshimbila vha Bono Foundation. Ndi a ḓivha uri yunivesithi dzi vula vho February, mara ndi a zwi funa uri hezwi ni sathu vula ni thome ni ḓe ende vha ḓa naho period dzi khou tshimbila. Ndi khou vhona vho principal vha Ramgondo vha hone vho Mudau. Ndi a kona u zwi vhona uri ri a vhafha tshifhinga uri kha vha ḓe vha ambe na matshudeni. Ri a ḓivha uri impact yavho i fhirisa yashu. Zwino itisa thi ni khou ri vhona nṋe ri khou kala thi ri hu na age gap, mara hu tshi amba vheiwe zwi a ita. And matshudeni havha vhaṅwe vha a tshi ri u ḓa vari hai mani voprincipal ivane vari ropasa kare ndari thoma ndivavudze uri nopasisani mani ndikoti vasumbedze uri ndichitangana zvo zvino paisokambori ndaona dissection yamini ndaoti ndazvifa uri vavavudza University of Cape Town vavudza zvavhetse kamati vavavudze nga hezvi zvori navo ndipo vana metriki vapasa zvavudi zvino nendikori auna zvimwe ndiyatenda last musi uchikoiwa redeeming tsunde noambange ndichivuya ini ndurina vaasongoya ndichivuya ndisokori nantsunde nevahone niyamudiva ntsundeni ndakamba hoyo ndisoko ntsundeni olava godwe naina vahone ubva apala ndari niyadiva achikori mini ndaamba as if ndo ndichizvifesesa uri nikobva zvikoambwa nga hoyu what about zvino ndikotenda uri tingotopa chiyambi chaduva rikotoamba uri veiwe zvinena kuita zvone rikozvivona hune zvavoneresa hone ndi musi zvikoro hezvi sedzani zvikoro zvenezvi zvinene kuzvidharera zvikuvona above 80% zvikosumbedza uri nango nikoshuma ngamanda hungatova uri kazvikoro zvine zvadiva uri humwe nojena hone ava tovona impacting amanda yanu naho nichingaya chimwe chipinga ngauri naho nengave vachikofi vakoshumisesa veiwe handikotenda zvori ratodiva rikodzirero vanatsi 100% ndorivo
zvazvona radarikoda kachibhedha china chikotevera ne kachibhedha china chikodai rine radarikododziva nga Bono uri zvavudhi Bono ndikusidzana kana ndikutukanana kana ndine geng yavo 2 in 1 ngozvivona so namusi rizatorodhiva nga Bono ngauri hukoda vathu vaviri apa Phanda utoda chairperson mbiri ane ava Isha Maiva ufimi iva Maisha ne sorry tezvino ndikare risiwo pano utokoda iva Maisha na Shandukani Mandana vachikodanga ngano Phanda vachikoda ribvisira kagara uri zvavudhi Bono ndi mini foundation ende rina zvavudhi aritakireri 21 ka Bono yanotodziva so ndikutukana kana ndikusidzana mara kutova kusidzana uri kana vatovowina nevo matepe aneva ukuzvivona so radaona urikuona ruimbo nge-DJ vava vathu vaviri vachikodanga ngano Phanda kana vatotamba ngoserisana zvitobva kaune vanhu
Macheloni vathu vothe vari pano Okay, artos dovholora. Ndi matsheloni kha vhathu vhoṱhe vha re fhano. All right. Sa zwe zwa ambiswa zwone, nṋe ndi pfhi Iva Maisha. Ndi na mukomana ono pfhi Isha mara. So maybe u ḓivhana na Isha more than nṋe. Nga dzina ndi pfhi Iva, nga tshifani ndi pfhi Maisha. Ndi dzula kha board ya foundation ine ya vhidzwa pfhi Bono Foundation. Before u tshi vha na executive committee ra hone zwino ndo vha ndi nṋe chair kha that executive committee. So mushumo wanga a ngo to lapfa, ndi nga 2 minutes nda dzula fhasi. Zwi zwo luga? Zwi zwo luga? Okay, zwi khou tou amba uri vhathu vha interested kha u ḓivha nga Bono. I mean, 2 minutes is not enough for that. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to observe protocol nga u acknowledge vhathu vha re hone hafhanoni today, right? So, Chotoma and the acknowledge the stars that we have. I believe if it was not for the matriculants that we have today, so thank you so much Uri Nokono honor invitation ya Bono. In fact, not even honor invitation ya Bono. You had to do something before that. Uri Nikono the one and if to fan. No shima job dinga manda. Uvachengwa watu makano uvachena to much koro. Ningazo niko the one and afanoni. So thank you so much for coming. Redobarali wana ba principal na ba dedicates whenever operekeza abatu. Na bane basibe honest, you know, we thank them in their absence. Ngauri uri aba na babe afanoni ndi mushumo wewe onekeza wone. Ndi mushumo wewe awita. Bado babatanganeza na rine msirichita skoloni. So thank you so much for that. Chawbiri ndido acknowledge as guest speakers zinero banazo. Although bono tuwanga zivangisi zinero banazo. Rikozili wanga manda uri bo dineke bo jachipinga ba prepare bakono honor invitation yashu bakono shika fitu pano rina Bono apitu nendi believe uri Bono it's not a name. Bono it's us. Ndirine watu bane ra bahone afanoni from the first member and abako volunteer to be part of the organization to the founders. Ndirine Bono ara usina rine Bono I exist. So I would like to thank you so much for dedicating your time, your passion as well, your effort, your resources. During the year, you no require chipinga chabe effort, no require resources. In fact, I was chatting to someone, uri grateful ngamanda uri ukoseva ka Bono with people who actually love Bono Foundation. It's possible uri written mshumo na mutu ene afuni chitu china kuchita. We've seen this a lot in different platforms. But I'm very, very much grateful to know that people who belong to Bono, people who are part of Bono, they actually love Bono Foundation and they do it from the bottom of their hearts. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for volunteering and dedicating your resources, your time, as well as your effort towards Bono Foundation and towards the objectives and visions of Bono Foundation. Rina ba baby afanoni wene wo decide udo wona mushumo na rakuita wone. Azungorelwa ngamanda. I remember in 2015 Robana I'll get to this maybe later. But Robana baby where afuinera akutodo diva zwabuduri Bono Foundation in the mini na hone what is it zinena kotoda kangwananga. So the understanding in our baby baba na yonga Bono Foundation udinekedzera havo uri vakono support abana bene baba bako Bono Foundation. We thank you so much for that because we appreciate Angamanda. Dobara appreciate our baby baba hone afanoni. So we have people who actually organized this event. Zoyangamanda, Oshimuangamanda. I would like to acknowledge those people. Ningazo comes in Ashandukani or used to give the standing ori Bono Foundation yotomi saani. Dizipios nerakwita. Na unerakoyone ningavi. So I would like to make a few comments regarding the landscape of education in South Africa. It's mentioned that the status or the quality of education, of basic education in South Africa, it's very, 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 very poor, especially in regions that are previously disadvantaged because of the government system that we've had previously, right? So let's highlight the fact that it's very poor. The basic education is very poor. There's no such thing as education. And I actually agree. And what he was saying is that the content that we learn, it's not poor. But what's actually poor is the system that is being used to give out this content. Is the system that's been built to develop infrastructures. So the basic system, the basic education, the quality thereof, it's poor. We're saying that ngandira ine hei education ya kupasiwa from the textbooks, from whatever source it is, to machudeni, it's very poor. And I'll comment why I say that. We look at, okay, we can't say the education is poor because we can't compare it. So in this case, we can actually compare the quality that we're talking about. So when we're looking at the infrastructure, right? You know, if we look at physical science, if we're focusing on the chemistry side and we want to talk about the reactions, there's certain illustrations in the textbook, and some of those illustrations, they require practicals. So you do these practicals in the laboratories. But when we look at the infrastructures in the region, very, very few schools have laboratories. So already we can say that this is not the best infrastructure there is to teach learners, right? When we look at, in fact, in the library, it's for the region. But schools don't have libraries. Extra classrooms. In fact, they're not even extra classrooms. These classrooms in a compromise worry. Classroom in a store on books. So schools don't have infrastructure. Infrastructure in a retender ori vana vakono produce the best results based on their capacity or their potential. We agree on that, right? So the government, the democratic government, he spoke about, he touched on NDP. So the national development programs that were set, the status of South Africa to improve across the demographic, across the entire country. There was a program called, or there is a program called NDP, talks about the goals never to do. And you understand why in the So when we're talking about such areas, we're talking about career guidance. Based on my knowledge, and you can actually challenge this, you'll be practicing what the previous speaker said. Based on my knowledge, I teach host their independent career guidance. Am I lying? So the career guidance is university, so they already put on that responsibility to other institutions, right? So this is one of the things in the NDP that was established, mentorship. Very few schools have established that relationship with their alumni. So if in the Mbiru Secondary School, I don't have that contact with Mbiru Secondary School in order to help it's only things out of the initiatives about but it's not within the education department responsibilities, right? Mental support. It's only now that we hear that these kind of things are happening, hire as social workers, but it's still within those top schools that are able to provide. When you look at schools that are in disadvantaged areas, are going to provide this kind of support. Access to information. Around 2014, if not 2015, Vodacom, you had a project here is a Wi-Fi, not sure how far that is, but I would like to believe that was the responsibility of the government more than the responsibility of corporate institutions, because they can cease to exist at any time. So based on this information, Bono Foundation was actually formed. So now I'm going to talk about how Bono Foundation came about, right? So we have already recognized the education department, what they're focusing on. Now in the GPUs, you never focus cars, right? So in 2015, a group of students who were doing their early varsity years came together and decided to say, look guys, we've been exposed to high school radawara exposed to tertiary. Even more than that, institutions of higher learning, access. So we came together, realized there are best schools in Limpopo. Limpopo is capable of producing best learners. But at the same time, there are schools, they are not receiving the attention in their to be a doctor. where do you want to study it? Vembe FET. So now, you would understand, Uri, FET, I want to become a doctor, I want to study medicine. How is the two linked? I mean, it's not possible. And this is not to ridicule anyone or I'm trying to explain a story so that you have an understanding of where Bono is coming. And we as Bono, we said,